Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault, and today I'm coming to you with part 2 of the Texas Gun Vault's top 25 favorite guns of the collection. I mentioned in the first part that people often ask me, Jason, what are the top 5 favorite guns that you own? And I keep saying I can't narrow it down to just 5. So I decided to do a top 5 of top 5s, and I'm doing this by category. Part 1 was on my top 5 piston-driven rifles. Today we're going to be talking about my top 5 carry guns. Now this is important to remember that this is not a list of what I think are the top 5 carry guns or the best guns for you. These are my favorite carry guns and the guns that I carry often. So please don't misconstrue that. I'm not saying once again that these are the best that you should own yourself. These are just my personal favorites. And we're going to start off today with a gun that I have owned probably for about 12 years because I know the year that I bought it, 2011. This is a Colt Lightweight Commander XSE in stainless steel. The frame is aluminum, so it's a lightweight Commander, and the reason I know I bought it in 2011 is the fact it is a 100-year anniversary model. So it says 100 years of service. Now you'll also notice that I do have some custom grips on this, and these grips are from my favorite grip company, Brownworks. Yeah, take a look at those. Those things are awesome in my favorite color, green. Mark over there did a great job. This particular 1911 is just how I like them. A little bit more than mil-spec, but has all the features that you would like on an upgraded 1911. We have forward and rear cocking serrations. We have an undercut under the trigger guard. We have an extended beaver tail safety. We have a skeletonized hammer. We got Novak sights. It's in stainless steel, really easy to clean. When it comes to my carry guns, I love stainless steel because it is just so easy to clean, as I mentioned, and it looks fantastic in a nice holster. The other cool touch I have to this, which you can't see, is the magazine. Brownworks also sent me some Texas Gun Vault engraved 1911 magazines. Isn't that really cool? So that is just a real nice touch, and this is my favorite 1911 to carry. It's the perfect size. The Commander size is awesome, and this gun is chambered in .45. And that is gun number 20 on the list. Now on to number 19. We have a Beretta 92 FS Compact. Now, I purchased this gun used. I do like the Beretta 92 series, and I was in the market for one to carry. And so I found this one on a local website where you can buy, sell, and trade privately here in Texas. And unfortunately, I do not have the original box for it, but it is the Inox or Inox version. And some people say it's Inox because it stands for inoxidizable because it's stainless steel, but also the frame on this is aluminum. I do have it outfitted with a Valkyrie from Olight. Some people may like that or not. I think it fits on this gun really well. It's a 92 A1 frame, so it does have the rail. I also have some custom Brownworks grips on this in my favorite color. Beautifully textured, very comfortable in my hand. I have not changed out anything else except the grips on this particular gun, and to be very honest with you, I think I shoot this better than any other Beretta that I own. Even the higher end full-size A4s and A3s, the M9s. This one for me just shoots great. It's why I carry it. It's been super reliable and I love its performance. So now let's take a look at the next one on the list. And of course, everybody has to have an HK that they carry. Here is the HK USP Compact. But this particular one is chambered in 357 SIG. It's kind of a rare variant. And you might notice a couple things are missing on that slide. You don't have the proof marks. It's not etched as HK in the front. This gun started off as an USP Compact 40. In fact, I even have the original slide barrel and recoil spring right here. And that's what you're used to seeing. If I can get that into focus, you got the HK there in the front. Got the proof marks. Yeah, so this thing started off as that, but I have found that I love 357 SIG. I think it's just one of the best carry calibers out there. I love its performance. I love the fact that it's a bottlenecked cartridge. It just has great ballistics. Unfortunately, it's not as popular as I would hope. Now, when I discovered that about the 357 SIG, I discovered that the USP Compact, once upon a time, actually came in 357 SIG, but to find one is super rare and difficult. However, I found some companies that were selling stripped slides, barrels, and recoil springs, and I was able to assemble an upper receiver for this in 357 SIG. Now, you can just replace the barrel, but I didn't want that. I actually wanted my slide to say 357 SIG. So this is a real HK slide, but it never went through the proofing process. So it doesn't have those marks. It is not engraved with HK in the front, but it is a real HK slide. The barrel is also in 357 SIG. It's an HK barrel. There are no aftermarket parts on this. The only thing else I've changed out is I did put some night sights on this, and I think it works great. This is a great gun to shoot. I did put on the ambi controls, and of course those are HK parts as well. So technically it was supposed to be originally a variant 1. It just has the ambi controls now. This is a fantastic gun to shoot. Fantastic gun to carry. My only issue with this is that it still uses the proprietary rail from HK. I think they should have gone with a 1913 rail on it. But I can go between 40 and 357 SIG, and both calibers use the same magazine. Now, the next one on the list, number 17, is actually 2 guns. I know what you guys are saying, especially the top 5 carry guns. Well, to me, they're kind of the same. And that's just gonna be a Glock. Yeah, I actually own a lot of Glocks, and I shoot Glocks pretty well. My thing about Glocks, I know they're not for everybody, some people call them tactical Tupperware, is that I shoot them very consistent. Every Glock, especially the stock ones that have not been modified, all shoot the same. I know how the triggers are. I know typically where the point of impact is going to be. They all feel the same in my hand. And for me, I actually kind of have a proclivity towards the Generation 3 ones, because those are the ones that were popular when I first got into firearms. In fact, my very first gun I ever bought from an FFL was a Glock Gen 3 17. Unfortunately, I traded or sold that one at some point. I did replace it eventually, but I kind of miss it. I should have kept it. So I have 2 guns that I typically carry. I have a Glock 19, which I think is the most prolific handgun in the United States. I did change out the sights on this. I actually did that in a sight video where I used a tool that was sent to me for review that absolutely sucked. But I was able to get those sights on there. And that's the one thing about any Glock I definitely recommend that you change out is the sights. And I also put on a Magpul jet funnel or magwell on it. I think it's a nice upgrade. It's low profile and they work really well. Then I also have a G26, also chambered in 9mm. The nice thing about the G17, 19, and 26 is that they can all technically use the same magazines if they're long enough. So obviously the 26 won't fit into a G19, but if you're at the range and you're like, hey, I want a little bit more capacity, you can take the 15 rounder and pop it in the G26. So this is the subcompact version. I have mentioned in certain videos that the G26 is obsolete. And I know that pisses people off. Like, Jason, that's not obsolete. I'm not saying it's obsolete and it doesn't work. I'm just saying there's probably better options out there that have the same capacity and are a little bit smaller and do the job better for concealed carry. But I do like the G26. Maybe it's a little bit of nostalgia, but also this was my father's gun. He purchased this. He didn't like it, and him and I traded guns. I gave him a Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 Compact, which he shot and really liked, and I took the 26. So this entered my personal collection, and I did once again change out the sights. I put on some big dot XS sights, and this gun often is in my nightstand, and it is just a great gun. I have lots of holsters for it, and that's the thing too about the Glocks is the aftermarket for these are just so large. You can get holsters, sights, magazines, and a ton of different accessories. Then number 16 on the list is probably going to be the biggest surprise of them all. Some people might laugh, but I'm telling you, until you shoot one or have to carry a gun of this size, you need to consider it. A Beretta 950 BS. Now this is a discontinued model. It is chambered in 25 ACP. They did offer it in 22 long rifle as well. Some people call this a mouse gun, and some people call it a Saturday night special, which I do not believe it actually is. Let me tell you, these tip-up barrel small mouse guns from Beretta are honestly very, very high quality. They're not cheaply made. They're not like the Ravens or the other throwaway guns you've heard about from the 1980s. These things are pretty darn good quality. In fact, the price of them is kind of expensive for what they are. I ended up picking this up when I was looking for just a basic 25 ACP carry, because here in Texas, it can get hot. Let me tell you, right now it is summertime, and sometimes the temperatures can get up to 107 degrees, and wearing pants and carrying a large heavy handgun just isn't the way to go. But if you want to walk the dog and do some exercising, well, I can throw this into gym shorts really easy in a pocket holster. So I can still have something. No, I don't think I'm going to win some type of shootout with somebody that might be armed with a rifle at a convenience store or a mall or something, but it's enough for basic self-defense. And the gun that you can carry is the best gun for you at that time. So at least I have something. I have 8 rounds of 25 ACP. It's going to do something, and it's better than carrying nothing. But this thing has just been awesome. It is so easy to carry. A pocket holster, you even forget it's there. It's awesome. Now, they did replace this with the Model 21A, which is a little bit bigger, and it has a double action, single action trigger in it. This one is single action only, so it's just like a 1911. So it does have a safety. In fact, I love this gun so much, I've bought 3 of them. This one here was made in the US, in Maryland. I bought another one that was brand new in the box, I guess new old stock, which is a Parkerized one made in the US, and I also own one made in Italy back before the 1968 Gun Control Act. So it has all of the import marks, but it does not have a safety. They had to add the safety for importation reasons. They also made a few of these in Brazil when Beretta was in Brazil, and those are not supposed to be as good of quality. But I like this gun so much, chambered in 25, not 22, because if I'm going to carry anything, I do want a center fire cartridge. I like it so much, and I think so highly of it and its quality, I actually bought 3 of them. 1 as a collector, and 2 that are actual functional carry guns. So that is my top 5 carry guns, from my 1911 to my HK, 357 SIG USP Compact, and even my little mouse gun Beretta, and my 2 Glock. So there you go, number 20 through 16 of my top 25 favorite guns. And once again, I'm not saying these are the best carry guns in the world or the guns that you should buy. They're just the ones that I personally like, carry, use, and shoot pretty well. So I hope you are liking this series, and I'll come to you next week with another category of my top 5 guns that fit that description. So as always, thanks for watching.